The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. And each week, we bring you the goings-on of the towns and villages that we serve. This week, we are starting out with Rick Milne in the village of Honeoye Falls. Rick, what's going on?
Hey, Chris, it's great to see you and John today. A little bit of a small group, I think, but it's great to be here. You know, not a whole lot has occurred since last week. We're kind of in that getting through the budget mode and through our annual meeting, so things slow down a little bit. But and a couple of the points may be a little bit repetitious, but I just wanted to touch base on a couple of items. Our local group that has been working to support those impacted by the Seneca Place fire did have a really great spaghetti dinner fundraiser last week that was hosted by the United Methodist Church. It was a delicious full dinner, was provided at no cost to all those who attended. And they were just simply asked to consider a monetary donation. And it just went really great. Through the wonderful event, approximately $2,800 was raised, which will go to those in need impacted by the Seneca Place fire. We appreciate all those that donated to the event, including those that provided all the food products. So all that was donated. It was just a wonderful event. As I mentioned earlier, the village board did conduct its annual meeting and budget process, approval process this past Monday night. We appreciate those that attended or listened in virtually. The village budget was approved and the tax levy again remained under the 2% tax levy cap. All of our business and board designations were also made that evening. So we're happy to have that behind us. And we appreciate all of our partners through this whole process. And then also Monday this week, we did have United States Congressman from the 27th District, Chris Jacobs, our congressman, visit to tour a small portion of the village, but more importantly, to learn about and see our current plans for the new fire hall and discuss financial support for the project as well. I'm working very hard with state and federal officials to aid funding support for this critical project, which I believe is one of the most important projects in our village community in a number of years. We have a long way to go, and we are making some adjustments so that we can strive to move forward with some initial community meetings on the project as well. But I've also met with team members from Governor Hochul's office, Senator Brooks' office, Assemblywoman Burns, and Assemblywoman Lunsford as well. And we're just reaching out to everyone we can to see if we can gain some financial support for this project. So, you know, again, as I said, we have a long way to go, but we're committed to it. I really appreciate Congressman Jacobs coming in. I think it was a little bit eye-opening for him to see the facility and see some issues with the building and understand really where we're going with the project and why. So it was a great visit and I appreciate him being here. So with that, I hope everyone has a great week coming up as we get into the next holiday. And hopefully the nice weather is upon us and is going to continue to be here. So thanks for everything and thanks for the opportunity, Chris.
Thanks a lot, Rick. John, how about the town of Mendon? How are we doing there?
Hi, Chris. Happy spring, hopefully. And hopefully we're done talking to our highway superintendent. We're hopeful that we're finished with the plowing and salting, but he still is going to give it another week or so before he removes the snow plows and salters out of the back of the trucks, things like that, just to be on the safe side. The highway department is removing the delineators, the snow fence, that type of thing is pretty well wrapped up at this point. And they're preparing for brush pickup, as I've mentioned before, beginning on April 25th. Regarding our military memorial and spray park, as I mentioned last week, there was one portion that that project that did not receive a bid. So we are still wading through the possibilities going forward. So stay tuned. We're working diligently on that. We've hired an attorney that specializes in construction, and he is advising us as we go. Also, Mendon Green is in front of the planning board. I'm sure everybody's tired of me talking about it, but it's on Route 64, the Pittsford-Mendon Road, north of the thruway. It's in the town of Mendon. It abuts the town of Pittsford. The current application is for 30 homes. So anyone who's interested, I encourage you to tune into the planning board. Obviously, you can come to the meetings or tune in via Zoom or YouTube. And the interesting part of this is that it does require sewers, and the sewers would come over from Pittsburgh. So that would be the first time we would have sewers in the town of Mendon outside the village of Honeoye Falls. Our ARPA funding, which is the American Resource funding, we're looking to have utilized some of that for the spray park. We're also looking into extending sidewalks in the hamlet. And with that, we are pursuing some grants, and the board is considering hiring a grant service company to pursue grants in the hamlet. With our recent upgrade of our comprehensive plan, we feel that we could be eligible for some grants. So we're looking into that as well. Also wanted to thank Christina Romig, who has been on our library board of trustees for the last few years. She served as president. She has recently stepped down. She did a really fantastic job with our library through COVID, through the retirement of our director and hiring of a new director. So I really wanted to thank her because she will be greatly missed on that library board of trustees. Also, our Town of Mendon website, we are continuing to work on that to bring it up to date. We had some employees receive some training, and we are putting more and more information on there, keeping it updated a little better than we had previously. And we'll continue to bring that up to snuff. Also, I reported last week on some of the lines for the election districts for the state assembly and state senate. And of course, right away, there apparently was a lawsuit filed that went before a judge. The judge put a stay on it. Somebody challenged that. So, I'll be honest with you, it's still a little bit up in the air. So we'll stay tuned, and we'll see what happens from here. And I don't know what will happen, but we will keep our eyes on it and find out who our state representatives are going to be in the near future. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, John. Anything more, Rick, on your end that you might have forgotten to say?
Yeah, actually, John just prompted me with his last point there. So I'll just make a couple of very brief points regarding the county ledge position. But, we're going through the redistricting process as well. When I was elected to this position, it was only a 2-year position because we had to go through they were going through the redistricting, et cetera. And then everyone was going to have to run again in 2 years under the new legislative district lines. And when that was presented, late last year, when I was just being actually sworn in at that period of time, the district lines were contested. We have opened that back up again, and a new committee has been formed. So they're going through the redistricting process and looking at the maps once again. So we'll be going through that as well. Not that it would affect legislative district 5, the district that I represent, Mendon and Honeoye Falls, Rush, and part of Pittsford and Henrietta, but it will affect some numbers a little bit. And, really some of those lines are really affect more of the city districts and some of the other neighborhoods. But we'll see where that goes. I also did want to mention that I will be setting up some office hours over the next couple of months where I'll be either in the town of Mendon, town of Rush, or Henrietta, setting up some office hours, a couple of evenings. If anyone wants to talk about some of the any county issues or county questions. I have been meeting quite a bit with some of the constituents around the district over the last couple of weeks. And then I'm going to be, I met with Sheriff Baxter and his team not too long ago, and this coming Tuesday we'll be touring the Monroe County Jail with a bunch of the legislators who are relatively new. And that is going to be an interesting process for us, I'm sure. So it has been very active and very rewarding thus far. And but I did want to just mention that we are going through the redistricting process once again as well. So it's never an easy process to go through and get approved. So appreciate it, Chris. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you both. And thank you all for watching. Remember, we're here every Sunday at 1 o'clock on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And if you miss it, you could always read the transcript in the paper. And also, you notice there's a few faces missing today. I'm sure they'll have some write-ups in next week's paper too. All right, so that's it for now. Bye-bye for now, everyone.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.